Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? It's Professional here. So today I got a breakdown for you guys of the GTA 6 trailer. Earlier we did a reaction. Here I'm gonna do a breakdown and try to give you guys as many information as I can, and I'm gonna try to explain everything that I at least see in my opinion in the trailer here. But before we actually move on to the trailer, I'm going to actually break down a lot of the screenshots because Rockstar also included like 70 something screenshots. So we'll go through those and I'll compare it to the trailer. I have noticed a few things, and but anyways, let's do it here. And I'll also link this site down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, do drop a like, and if you're new to my channel and enjoy my content, do subscribe to me. It does help me out a bit. Unfortunately, my last GTA 6 reaction video, it got copyright claimed, so it's so annoying when that happens. But anyways, here we go. Vice City, USA. Jason and Lucia have always known the deck is stacked against them, but when an easy score goes wrong, they find themselves on the darkest side of the sunniest place in America, in the middle of a criminal conspiracy stretching across the state of Leonida. Leonida is Florida. That's what the new name of Florida is in the GTA world. Forced to rely on each other more than ever if they want to make it out alive. Okay. So, this is, picture of, Jason and Lucia right here, a little bit of an interactive picture, but, we see the background. This looks, a lot like the, I've never been to Miami, but I know from the movies it is that beach, where all the hotels are. I believe that is actually in the South Beach district, but you see this at the beginning of Vice City. You also see this as a location in Scarface, which Vice City actually was inspired by Scarface, but, Jason Duval. Jason wants an easy life, but things just keep getting harder. Jason grew up around grifters and crooks. After a stint in the army trying to shake off his troubled teens, he found himself in the Keys doing what he knows best, working for local drug runners. It might be time to try something new. So anyways, about this is people were a lot of people were saying that Jason was a cop because of the way that he held his gun. I'll actually have a picture of it on the screen. When he held his his handgun, he actually kept his finger off of the trigger specifically, and people were saying that that's proof that he's a cop. That doesn't prove that he's a cop whatsoever. A lot of people who are not cops, hold firearms like that. It's a safer way to hold the firearm. You don't have your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to fire it. And a lot of people said he could be military, and in fact he is, ex-military. So there's that. So I don't believe this whole thing that, he's an undercover cop. I just don't believe it. But here, we got a few pictures of Jason here. And this looks like this gun right here, this handgun. This looks like a Beretta 9mm Italian handgun. I will actually have it up on the screen right here so you guys can see it. People are probably going to recognize it from Call of Duty. But yeah, this looks to me like a Beretta 9mm right here. We got another picture of Jason here. This picture, and let me also show that picture of the gun right here. Yeah, so he's on a motorcycle and he's got that Beretta right there. But this picture of him in the bar, this is most likely probably from a cutscene. You see his buddy here, and you see like two guys approaching. Looks like a fight is about to start. But anyways, about this is this hat right here, Brian's Boatworks and Marina. Make sure that you keep and remember this name here, Brian's Boatworks and Marina. This is going to be extremely important. I will explain a little bit later why that's important. If anything happens, I'm right behind you. This is a robbery that they're doing. And again, this looks, it looks to me like it's probably Beretta. It's a little blurred out here, but it looks to me like one. If anything happens, I'm right behind you. Another day in paradise. Meeting Lucia could be the best or worst thing that ever happened to him. Jason knows how he'd like it to turn out, but right now it's hard to tell. And we got another picture of a gun here. This is most likely an M4. It's probably not going to be an AR because every single time we've had this type of rifle in the GTA game, it has been automatic. So it is most likely an M4A1. I will have it up on the screen right here. But I will also say about this is I already like the look of the guns, like the firearm specifically. Like, this looks to me like, the design of it already. It just looks really good. And here, right here, they even have a lot of the features of an AR right here. This right here, this is the adjustable stock. This right here is the firing mode, which I cannot see if it's it just says fire right here. There's just only a fire here. But it would, in an M4, it would be semi or automatic. In an AR-15, it would be semi-automatic only on here. And also here, this button right here, this is the mag release. So yeah, we got attention to detail already on the firearms. I already like it, and I already like the look of the firearms in this game much better than in GTA 5. In GTA 5, some of the firearms look weird to me, especially like the AK. It just doesn't feel like an AK to me. Got another picture of Jason, looks like in the hotels district. So again, phones are gonna be a big part of this game, and phones are, how you're gonna progress the storyline. You're getting calls from people, text messages from people, probably emails from people, probably able to surf the web also, and probably be able to start up jobs and other such. So, and phones are probably gonna be a big part of the multiplayer, so that's gonna be a thing also. He is wearing a marijuana weed shirt, not the most smartest thing to do, especially if you're moving drugs. Here we got another picture of Jason, and we got a picture of his friend Cal here. We'll talk about his buddy in a little bit here. He's fishing, so looks like fishing, that is a new activity that is in GTA 6. And yes, this is Jason. I know it might be a little hard to see him with the glasses and such, but it is him. This also confirms to us that Jason and Lucia are both going to be able to have different haircuts. Okay, so now we got a little information about Lucia. Lucia Caminos. Lucia's father taught her to fight as soon as she could walk. Life has been coming at her swinging ever since. Fighting for her family landed her in the Leonida Penitentiary. Sheer luck got her out. Lucia's learned from her lesson. Only smart moves from here. She is punching a punching bag right here. This looks to be like a gym. And this actually has me excited because we do see a part in the trailer where I believe that is Jason actually lifting. So it looks like gyms are going to come back. Gyms are going to be a part of the GTA storyline, and this is going to be the first time that we're going to be seeing gyms in 22 years, because San Andreas came out in 2004, GTA 6 is coming out in 2026, so we will see gyms again. And I don't know why a lot of people hated the gyms in GTA San Andreas. I actually like the gyms, trying to boost CJ's stamina, trying to, increase his strength. You would see also CJ's body, get stronger and, bigger as, worked out. So hopefully they have features like that in GTA 6. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, and here, we got a picture of Lucia in prison, and you can see Lucia has a different haircut, so again, this confirms that the characters will be able to have different haircuts. I wonder if the prison part is going to be actually a chapter in the game that you actually play, or if it's only just going to be a few cutscenes. It does seem really early in the game, but I will say about this, make sure you pay attention to this LD here. See that LD? I will explain also why that's a little bit important later, but that LD symbol. But basically, Leonida, I think it stands for Leonida Department of Corrections. I think that there is a C over here. You just cannot see it all the way because of her arm, but I do think that there is a C there. Yeah, so a lot of people were speculating that this is the end of the game, that Lucia is going to end up in prison, but I thought that would be a stupid way to end, a GTA storyline, that she just ends up in prison. So I was saying that this is probably going to be the beginning of the game, and it turns out that I was right. It is at the beginning of the game. Okay, so this is definitely from a cutscene, this scene right here. The only thing that matters is who you know and what you got. A life with Jason could be her way out. Fresh out of prison and ready to change the odds in her favor, Lucia's committed to her plan, no matter what it takes. So again, we see a different haircut here in Lucia. Again, confirms that different haircuts. This right here, this is I don't know who this guy is, if this guy is a cop or a gangster trying to break in, but Lucia is definitely ready. Now, about this gun right here, I do recognize this gun. This, I am pretty certain that this is an FN57. That's what this is, Belgian handgun. About the FN57 is the FN57, it fires a weird cartridge. I think it's the 5.7, correct me if I'm wrong, but where most handguns, they will actually fire rounded bullets. So like, 45 ACP will be rounded, the 9mm will be rounded, but the 5.7 fires actually sharp rounds. But about this is this 5.7 is not actually chambered in that. We see right here 9mm. But the 5.7, about the 5.7 is, I know there are some branches of the military that uses it. I'm pretty sure the Secret Service uses it. But it is not, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that the US military for the most part uses the 5.7. I think that the 5.7 is I don't think the U.S. military uses the 5.7 for the most part. I think that there are a few law enforcement agencies that use the 5.7, but the 5.7 is mostly a very popular handgun in the civilian market. In the civilian market in America, the 5.7 is an extremely popular handgun. Here we got a picture of Lucia on a motorcycle, and again, I don't want to keep bringing this up, but we see a third different haircut now. So we've seen 3 different haircuts, so it's confirming to us that the characters will be able to change haircuts. She is in front of some kind of bar. She is on a she is on a motorcycle. But right here, it says on the license plate, Gloriana, Gloriana America. And about Gloriana, it looks like there's like an, I think that I could be wrong on that. It looks to me like a dolphin and possibly an orange right there. But Gloriana, if this is not like a county in the game, this probably is going to be a state, because in America, every single state has their own license plates. You have 50 different license plates. And one thing that I was speculating about when GTA 6 is that GTA 6 might actually have multiple states. It might. Now, GTA 6, the main setting is going to be Leonida. So, like, most of the map, probably 70 to 80% of the map is going to be Leonida. However, though, there might be like a 20 or 25% part of the map that is going to be a different state. And about Gloriana, is it Gloriana? I think it's Gloriana. I'm trying to read it right here. It's a little tough. But about this, I think Gloriana is probably Georgia. That is what I think, possibly, about it. Because Northern Florida is in this game. There are parts of Northern Florida that you'll see in the screenshots. And if we have Northern Florida in this game, we might actually have parts of Georgia. You have to remember something. There was actually multiple states in GTA games in the past. So, for example, GTA 4, not the entire map is not Liberty City in GTA 4. Algonquin is Liberty City. Bohan is Liberty City. Broker is Liberty City. Dukes is Liberty City. But Alderney is actually New Jersey. Or Alderney State in the game. Liberty City, based on New York, Liberty State in the game. So that was a different state. So possibly we might actually have Georgia as a different state here too. We've also had, lots of Venturas, which would technically be in Nevada, but in the old San Andreas, they kind of considered it part of San Andreas, even though San Andreas is technically California. Got a screenshot here of Lucia and Jason probably in a hotel room, or artwork, I should say, not screenshot. As for the handgun that Lucia has right here, I don't know if I can tell what handgun that is. It looks to me like possibly a Makarov. Maybe I could be wrong on that. Maybe it's not a Makarov. Or a Walter. It looks maybe like it could be possibly a Walter PPK. I'll have both of the handguns on the screen right here. But if anybody recognizes this handgun specifically here, let me know. But, yeah, it's a little hard for me to tell. If I saw more of the handgun, I'd probably be able to tell. Only in Leonida. When the sun fades and the neon glows, everyone has something to gain and more to lose. Okay, so this is, right here, this is Jason's best friend, Cal. Cal Hampton. What if everything on the internet was true? Jason's friend and a fellow associate of Brian's, Cal feels safest hanging at home, snooping on Coast Guard comms with a few beers and some private, browser tabs open. But about Cal, it looks like Cal is probably going to take the role of like Ron in this game. Ron was like a big conspiracy theorist in GTA 5 and was Trevor's friend. This seems to be like, Jason's version of Ron, but it doesn't seem like the relationship is going to be extremely abusive, where Trevor, constantly abused Ron. It doesn't seem like that it's going to be like that with Cal here. But Cal actually does work at the same place that Jason works at. I'll actually explain that in a little bit. So again, another picture of Cal. Looks like he's got a golf club here. Weapon, golf club already confirmed. He's already got alien Hawaiian shirt, which is showing he's into conspiracies. Here he's with Jason. He's carrying some kind of duffel bags. I don't know for some kind of heist prep, possibly heist. There are way too many birds flying around in perfect formation. That's he's getting into conspiracies. Pool, this has me really excited right here. Pool, it appears that Pool is going to be a minigame again. Yes. I actually enjoyed Pool in GTA, in GTA 4. We haven't had it in GTA 5. In GTA 5, missing a lot of activities from GTA 4, so already a good thing. We are going to have a Pool in the game. Him in a swimming pool. The psychopaths are in charge. Get used to it. Cal is at the low tide of America and happy there. Casual paranoia, loves company, but his friend Jason has bigger plans. Visit Leonida. Tour a few of the most must-see destinations across the Sunshine State. Explore Vice City here. Everything in excess. We're a long way from the 80s, but Vice City is still the sun and fun capital of America. The glamour, hustle, and greed of America, captured in a single city. Each neighborhood has something to offer, from the pastel art deco hotels and bright white sands of Ocean Beach to the bustling panaderias of Little Cuba and the bootleg brands of the Tisha Waka Flea Market out to the Vice City port, the cruise ship capital of the world. That's kind of weird, Little Cuba. They had Little Havana in the original Vice City, and that's what it's called, Little Havana in real life in Miami. I know that. So kind of weird, Little Cuba, but I mean, they could have kept the name Little Havana. But yeah, we see a view of the city. The city looks gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and all the bridges and the islands that are connecting it, amazing. Sign of Vice City coming into it. Basketball. Basketball is probably going to come back as a mini game. Hopefully it does. I hope that we get. I hope it got a lot of activities in this game. Old people on the beach in their retirement. A lot of old people do tend to go to Florida to retire. This is probably some kind of street race right here. Yeah, mostly this is a strip club right here. See the pole, and you see the dollar bills that are flashing. But one thing that's catching my eye right here on this is that the $10 bill does not seem to have Alexander Hamilton on that. Who is on the $10 bill right there? Because Alexander Hamilton, the first Secretary of the Treasury, is who's on the $10 bill, but we got somebody else on there. And it doesn't look like George Washington is on the $1 bill either, but it's GTA. So, city looks amazing. This right here, I'm assuming this is the Vice City port right here. This is probably that. But yeah, this looks like some kind of show. You can see a woman dancing on the art, so some kind of show theater probably. We see, yeah, Ferris wheel right here too. And looks like a stadium, a smaller stadium, and this is probably a bigger stadium too. Traffic. We see a lot of NPCs, like a guy sitting with his dog. We see dirt bike riders doing stunts in the street. We got a low rider right here. So hopefully it's like this in the full game. Hopefully we don't this is not just like a cutscene or something like that. We actually see events like this, like dirt bike riders driving around, and we see the diversity in the cars, the motorcycle, the low rider, the guy sitting here. So hopefully this world feels extremely alive, like a real life world. Okay. Boobie Ike. It's all about Heart of the Jack of Hearts. Boobie is a local Vice City legend and acts like it, one of the few to transform his time in the streets into a legitimate empire, spanning a real estate, a strip club, and a recording studio. Boobie's all smiles until it's time to talk business. Probably, this guy is probably going to be the... He's probably going to be the Yusuf Amir of GTA... probably the Yusuf Amir of GTA 6. And we see a handgun on there. I'm pretty sure that's an FN57 right there also too, but it is the GTA version is chambered in 9mm. That's him in one of his clubs probably. The club money pay for the studio, and the drug money pay for it all. Okay, so he's running a bunch of businesses, but they're fronts. The businesses are a way to hide the drug money. Adult entertainment. Yeah, this is probably his club. He probably owns this club right here. And we can see an iFruit phone. So iFruit are basically the GTA parody of iPhone. That's what they are right there. So that company's back. And his buddy right here, I'm pretty sure that his buddy is a unique character also. He's going to be later down in the article. That's him in his club again. Boobie might seem like he's just out for himself, but it's his partnership with a young, aspiring music mogul, Dre'Quan, for only Raw Records that he's most invested in. Now they just need a hit. Leonida Keyes. Okay, so I don't know Florida that well, but I do know this is based on the Florida Keys. The Florida Keys are actually south, the very bottom of Florida. They are a bunch of like these small islands that it's like kind of like all in like in a specific pattern. They're all connected though, so like there's bridges that oftentimes connect all of these islands together. But yeah, that's the Florida Keys. Gateway to paradise. Life in this tropical archipelago isn't flashy, but it's easy. Get your buzz on and pull up a deck chair. But look out, you are right on the doorstep of some of the most beautiful and dangerous waters in all of America. And I do love how the water in Vice City is just so blue, like that Florida, that light blue Florida water. The waters where I grew up in New York City, waters are not this blue. I'm not saying they're polluted, but it's just the waters are just a lot more darker in New York. I haven't really ever seen water like this clear and this blue too. We also see Dodo Plane here, and it has the exact same texture and feature as from GTA 5. There's pretty much no difference between the Dodo in GTA 5 and GTA 6. But yeah, see, this is what the Florida Keys are like. Is you have a bunch of these islands and you have bridges that all just connect all of them, just like this here. So I hope, and I really hope that we have some islands that are a little bit far off in the ocean too, a little bit far away from the city too. We see a few boats here too, and it looks like we see cargo ships too. Yeah, cargo ship here, cargo boat here. Okay, so here, see an old person. Looks like they just picked up actually some fast food. They are on a scooter. I think for people speculating about the scooters, yes, I think they will let you drive the scooter. There's no way they're gonna have like a little scooter like this for old people, but they're not gonna let you drive it. There's no way. I'm pretty sure they will let you drive these scooters. It's gonna be really slow. It's gonna be kind of like a joke vehicle, but yes, they'll have it. Another thing is we see right here a lizard. I don't know much about lizards. Somebody might be able to tell me what kind of lizard that is, but it does show you the unique wildlife in GTA 6. There's going to be a lot of different wildlife that we haven't seen in GTA 5 before too. And we got a bus, probably a tour bus here, probably for tourists. A few advertisements. Keeps business efficient. Boat business. There is a boat business that's going to be really important. I'll talk about in a little bit here. And we got a bicycle and a dog too. So bicycles will be back. The Rusty Anchor. Yep, this is probably a bar. And we do see a bird up here. What is this? Is this... Again, I don't know animals too well. If anybody can tell me in the comments what bird this is up here. I don't see either Jason or Lucia here, so this is just probably a screenshot from the world. Oh, here, this is interesting. We see the wildlife, and we see a diver here. So diving is going to be a part of this game. Probably going to be some kind of activity, too, where you can dive and find stuff. And I will tell you, the underwater world in GTA 5 was probably one of the most unique areas, but at the same time, it was such a wasted potential. Like, the underwater world in GTA 5 had so much stuff, like crashed, planes, sunken ships, a lot of stuff that you could find underwater. But rarely anybody went down there. In single player, at least, there was, Trevor's, there was Mike, there was Michael's diving business, and then there was also the business where you found like the nuclear waste underwater, and then you could find some briefcases underwater of money. But once that was done, nobody ever really went there. And online, I never see anybody diving. I never see anybody exploring the ocean. It's like the underwater is like dead. So I think that if they add more activities, more stuff to do underwater, more stuff to find, I do definitely think it could be a more active world. But here we see different types of fish. We see a tortoise, and we see an eel also right here. Okay, this, we see some kind of party. This is, I'm really curious how Rockstar is gonna pull this off. Like, this might be the most, like, this might be the most realistic world that we've ever seen in video game ever. You know, if we have, because I'm wondering if this is from a mission or if this is just something that's like you can find. Like if you're just exploring the world and you can find like this big boat party, you know, people having fun. People do stuff like this. You know, they meet up on boats. You know, they get on each other's boats. They have barbecues. They have, you know, parties. They drink together, play loud music. So you know, stuff like this happens. But I wonder how Rockstar is gonna be able to put all of this together and how it's going to run on the PS5 too. Okay, let's go down even more here. Dre'Quan Priest. Only Raw Records. Dre'Quan. So that was the guy that was with what was his name again? Boobie Ike. So he was with Boobie Ike earlier. Dre'Quan Priest. So yeah, he is. Which picture was he in here? Right here. I'm pretty sure this is him. Is this Dre'Quan? Let's see. It does look like Dre'Quan. Dre'Quan Priest. Only Raw Records. Dre'Quan was always more of a hustler than a gangster. Even when he was dealing on the streets to make ends meet, breaking into music was the goal. That's him in one of Boobie's clubs. At some kind of pool party. This is probably the record studio, and since they said he's like a former drug dealer that makes music now, he probably has some kind of partnership with Boobie. He's probably producing music at Boobie's record studio. Dancers are like my A&RS. If the record's a hit, DJ's gonna be spinning it. Yep, him in a recording. This is definitely a recording studio, 100%. Only Raw Records. Him at some kind of club. Now that you're with the label now that he's signed with the real Dimez, Dre'Quan's days of booking acts in the Boobie strip club might be numbered as he sets his sights on the Vice City scene. So yeah, it did confirm that was him with Boobie. Grassrivers. The Grassrivers. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the Everglades? Anybody who knows Florida, correct me if I'm wrong on that. I know that there is a natural park area in Florida that's kind of like swampy like this. It kind of has like these wet lands. These aren't technically islands. They're kind of like wetlands. But yeah, there is a lot of different wildlife here. Crocodiles, especially in this area. Welcome to the wetlands. The untamable jewel of Leonida's crown. You never know what lies beneath the surface of this primordial expanse. The gators may be the most famous attraction, but there are far deadlier predators and weirder discoveries among the mangroves. Okay, let's see what we got right here. Okay, so these right here, these seem to me like crocodile hunters. And yes, there are people that make a living off of this. They make a living off of hunting specifically crocodiles. Florida, Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. People do make a living off of this, and they make money off of the meat of the crocodiles. It's crocodiles. So yeah, so basically what I was saying about it is that people do hunt crocodiles. But anyways, one other thing we see the fan boat. Iconic thing, and if you're gonna have that type of region, you're definitely gonna want to have the fan boat on that. And they do use these boats. These boats are very popular. But about this, we see it looks like an AR of some kind. But I'm noticing right here, this has a different barrel than the one that Jason was holding. This is definitely different right here. And this has a scope on it at the same time, too. So that shows us we're going to have gun customization. But this gun right here that he has, this gun, I am pretty certain that this is an M21. I think it is an M21. Let me actually look up a picture of the M21. And I'll also have one, on the screen right here. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it is the M21. It looks exactly like it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So M21. Yeah, this was a rifle that was basically used since the Vietnam War, and it is a popular rifle also in the United States, especially with civilians too. So yeah, it is an M21. So again, we see what I was talking about earlier. People do make a living off of this. They do hunt crocodiles. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong on this, when they're hunting crocodiles, they try to shoot them in the belly. I think that's the place that's the least armored. But yeah. So you can see, wow, three crocodiles too. Wonder how brutal the death scene is going to be from them, like compared to Red Dead. And we see a picture of this region too. Wonder how far the swampy region is actually from the from the town itself. But anyways, this part is probably not part of Vice City itself. You see Vice City downtown, so this shows you already how big the map is, that you see Vice City downtown in the background right there. But this is probably like a town outside of Vice City. Okay, now here, we have police chasing these guys, in the swamp. And if you notice the back, they have tons of crocodiles in the back. It was probably illegal to hunt crocodiles. They're probably poaching, or they've probably hunted a specific limit. I don't know what the law is on, in real life on hunting crocodiles in Florida. I know that people make a living off of this in, like, Louisiana and like a lot of southern states. But they're typically hunters do have a limit. Like, hunters, for example, like, I know that for hunters hunting deer, for example, there is a limit between, like, hunting, 1 to 2 deer in seasons. It depends on the states, it depends on their laws, but there is something that's hunting too much. So hunting license does not always let you hunt as much as you want. There are limits on how much that you can hunt specifically in a season here. So I don't know if that's because they've hunted too much, if that's what they're going after them for that. And you got a police helicopter and a car, and then you got the fan boat behind them, too. Okay. Real Dimez. Viral videos, viral hooks. Bay, Lux, and Roxy, also known as Real Dimez, have been friends since high school. Girls with the savvy to turn their time to shaking down local dealers into cold hard cash via spicy rap tracks and a relentless social media presence. They shake down drug dealers. What does that mean exactly? Like, they scam them? They rob them? They're musicians. Oh, and you see her in a car, Roxy in a car. You see her in a car with Dre'Quan. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that is Dre'Quan right there. All my dimes in this club meet my twin, make it a dub. Probably some kind of street racing activity. It's probably what this is. They're probably dancing for that. And here they're singing, yeah, so this confirms it, that they are musicians. One hit away from fame. An early hit single with local rapper Downplay took Real Dimez to new heights. Now after 5 years and a whole lot of trouble, they're signed to only Raw Records, hoping lightning can strike twice. So Dre'Quan is also signed up to that. It's the same records company. Port Gellahorn. Okay, Port Gellahorn. This is the next other region. This is Leonida's Forgotten Coast. Cheap motels, shut down attractions, and empty strip malls won't bring the tourists back, but there's a new economy in this once popular vacation spot. It's fueled by malt liquor, painkillers, and truck stop energy drinks. Jump onto a dirt bike and hold onto your wallet. Okay, so this is a more rundown part of Leonida. We got a motel right here. Is this Brian? I think I'll have to take a little picture. I don't think it's Brian. I think he had white hair, if I remember correctly. Yes, he did have white hair. But we got some kind of gang right here. Uh, what does that say on there? Is that King? I can't even make out the tattoo fully. But it is some kind of marijuana operation. You can see marijuana plants right here in the background. Okay, so here we see a drug deal. This is meth. Definitely meth. And this is a, they made it blue because Rockstar, I know, are big fans of Breaking Bad, so that's this. But they do take a lot of inspiration from a lot of crime shows: Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, Goodfellas, Scarface. A lot of crime movies and TV shows Rockstar's taken inspiration from. But the thing about this, and I can't tell, is this Jason in the background? It's like a little blurry. It's a little hard to see. But Jason is a drug runner apparently in this storyline. But I will tell you this. I really, really, really hope that this story revolves around drugs, because I do want this. I want this to be a drug storyline, like something about the drug trade specifically, because GTA 5 was just heist after heist. It was heist. It was like an ex old heist crew that met together after several years. I hope if you're gonna have a game in Vice City, you have to have it around the drug trade. Both Vice City and Vice City Stories have been focused around the drug trade. So I really hope that this game focuses heavily around the drug trade. I hope that we have that kind of story. I don't mind heists, don't get me wrong, but I don't want heists to be a huge chunk of the game. I'd rather have if you were to ask me, would I rather have tons of heists or instead bigger drug deals and drug deals that went wrong, went into shootouts. I'd rather have more of the drug deals that went wrong and went into shootouts than more heists. I do want some heists, don't get me wrong, but I want this game to have a different theme than the heist. So if this game themes around the drugs, I'll be generally happy with that. Okay, Delight's Cabaret. So this is in the same occasion. So Boobie probably doesn't own this location. It's probably just a strip club, probably in the rundown part. New girls, new food, open all night, hiring dancers. And you see in this corner, this looks like probably a homeless couple, probably pushing a cart full of stuff and garbage and other stuff here. The cars also look good. I gotta say this. Yeah, vehicles look good. And also a lot of people in Florida, especially in the countryside, are gonna drive around trucks. So some kind of party. This looks like a trailer to me in the background right here. So it looks like a trailer park party. That's probably what this is here. So we'll probably see a trailer park gang in this game. Probably somebody similar to Marty. We had Marty J. Williams in Vice City Stories. We will probably see a similar gang in this game. Okay, Raul Batista. This guy is very interesting. Experience counts, confidence, charm, and cunning. Raul's a seasoned bank robber, always on the hunt for talent ready to take the risks that bring the biggest rewards. So he's a professional bank robber. This is probably his planning room, and if we're gonna have somebody like Lester in this game, we probably will. But yeah, this is probably some kind of planning room that he has here. Him on some kind of ship. Oh, and this is downtown Vice City, but we can see the bridges actually open and close. That's cool. I like that a lot. The last time I saw bridges, that opened and closed, probably in an open world game, Watch Dogs, Watch Dogs 1 probably. Yeah, probably Watch Dogs 1, but that was in Chicago. So, but yeah, I do like that. We're gonna see bridges that are gonna open and probably ships to come through them. Okay, this part, this scene right here. This is this Lucia? It's a little hard for me to tell because of the glasses. But about this scene right here, this shootout, right in the middle of the street, I'm telling you right now, this is based on Heat. If you ever seen the movie Heat, Rockstar has taken several inspirations from the movie Heat. For example, that entire that entire armored truck robbery was actually based on the movie Heat. So this is in the movie Heat there was a big shootout in the streets. They went through the streets. I think Heat was in Los Angeles, because I seen it so many years ago. I think it was Los Angeles. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not Miami, but still is they take a lot of inspiration from a lot of crime movies and TV shows. But yeah, this is definitely an inspiration from Heat right here. The big shootout in the street with all the cops. Life is full of surprises, my friend. I think we'd all be wise to remember that. Okay, this we can see a lot of him carrying money. But here we see another handgun right here. This I am pretty certain that this is a 1911. That is what this is. This is a 1911, and on top of this right here, he's got a red dot sight. You can see that one right there. So we've already we've already confirmed like 4 handguns in the game. We have the 1911. We've got the 1911. We've got the 5.7. We've got the Beretta, and then we've got that one handgun that I couldn't identify that Lucia had. But 4 different handguns already. Another picture of him, likes to dress fancy. A professional adapts. Well, I am the professional. Raul's recklessness raises the stakes of every score. Sooner or later, his crew will have to double down or pull their chips from the table. Ambrosia, the industrial district. Okay. Okay, keeping Leonida sweet. The battle for the health and wealth of Leonida begins here. In the heart of Leonida, American industry and old school values still reign supreme. Whatever the cost, the Allied Crystal Sugar Refinery provides the jobs, while the local biker gang provides almost everything else. So this area is controlled by the bikers. So we saw kind of like trailer park gangsters. We saw like some kind of gang that was moving weed. We saw Raul, who was he runs a some kind of heist crew, but now we see the bikers in the game. And these guys are not the Lost right here. These guys could be a faction that broke away from the Angels of Death. It's a possibility. Because if you look, they have like a Grim Reaper symbol on their jackets, on their patch, I should say. But the Angels of Death symbol is actually pretty similar to this one. It's also a skull. So possibility they could be some kind of breakaway faction of Angels of Death. But it says right here, Final Chapter. That is what the name of the gang is. Final Chapter. So is it, because there was a random encounter in GTA 5 where there was a Lost MC member that told Franklin or Michael that the Angels of Death are pretty much, all destroyed. But that doesn't make sense, because the Angels of Death had like an MC in every single state. All 50 states that had a separate MC. They were, massive. They were giant. They were based on the Hell's Angels. But looks like we will definitely see a biker gang in this game, and we see already different types of motorcycles. They're not all driving the exact same motorcycle. But excited for that here. And again, Ambrosia County Sheriff's Office, turn ahead. So yeah, that is the county. That's the area. Okay. And 0 gas station here. Now, about this guy's rank is an enforcer, and now we see the 5th handgun in the game. 5th handgun. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that is a Colt Python. Colt Python. The Colt Python that is chambered in either 357 Magnum or 44. I believe that. But yes, I will have a picture of it on the screen right here. It is this. I am pretty certain that's a Colt Python that gun is. He's got the enforcer rank, but up here, and this is one thing I hate about the screenshot, is this was cut off right here. But what I can see right here, look, it says, this looks to me like Liberty City. Liberty City Cycles. That's what it looks like to me. So it's a possibility that these guys are some kind of breakaway faction from the Lost or the Angels of Death. These guys are probably from Liberty City. That's at least having me suspect that. This looks to me like Liberty City Cycles on that hat that he's wearing here. And we see another motorcycle here. So I'm really excited they do have a biker gang in this game. I really like the bikers in GTA 4. And I did like the biker update a lot in GTA Online. So I do like a lot of the biker stuff. Here, we got another picture of the county, but we see some farms, but we see a fire starting. So is fire going to be something that can actually affect the world? Are we going to be able to burn down trees and, fields and stuff like that? We're definitely not going to be able to burn down buildings. The game's definitely not going to, it's not going to have that much detail. But would we be able to actually burn down, like, fields and stuff? Like, I mean, you could do that in Red Dead to a degree. And Red Dead Online, there is a moonshine mission, I know, where you have to, like, burn a bunch of fields and it just spreads rapidly. Okay, so this is a car wash right here. Yeah, this is a car wash. Uh, car wash, and this business is probably using women to probably get more tips. That's probably what it's about here. So probably somebody washes your car, another woman chats with the driver. It's probably a way to get more tips. It's a car wash business. Okay, Brian, about this guy. Yeah, so I thought the earlier guy was Brian, but Brian's got white hair, so it's not him. Brian Heder. Nothing better than a mudslide at sunset. Brian's classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys. That the golden age of smuggling, I mean the 80s. So he's an older guy. He's been smuggling drugs since the 1980s. Still moving product through his boatyard with his third wife, Lori. Brian's been around long enough to let others do his dirty work. So that means he's got an entire gang that works for him now. And I remember the boatyard I told you guys about earlier. Yeah, this guy is also Jason's landlord, by the way. So here we see looks to me like cocaine. And another thing that I'm appreciating is I'm seeing the characters are already dressed in multiple different clothes. So it's not like the old GTA games where they're all dressed in the exact same outfit every cutscene. This is him and Jason. Yep. So Jason works for him as a drug runner. Jason's wearing a plate carrier right here. So armor is definitely back. But on top of that, not only is armor back, we will actually see the armor too. So yeah, there's that. In GTA, I know you can wear some of the armor too, but most people don't tend to do that. I hauled so much grass in that plane, I could make the state of Leonida levitate. Okay. Yep, that's him again. Different outfit. Here with Jason. That's probably his wife. It looks... Is that a 5'7" again there? It's a little harder for me to tell here, but he's handing Jason a gun. Looks like a Leonida beach bum. Moves like a great white shark. Brian's letting Jason live rent-free at one of his properties, so long as he helps with local shakedowns and stops by for Lori's sangria once in a while. But I will actually have this, make sure you keep this in mind, that he lives at one of Brian's properties. This is pretty important. I'll talk about this in a moment here. Mount Kalaga National Park. This is in northern Florida or northern Leonida. Wild, wild country. Room to breathe on the state's northern fringes. A national landmark up against the state's northern border. Mount Kalaga, offers prime hunting, fishing, and off-road trails. In the lush surrounding backwoods, hillbilly mystics and paranoid radicals live far from the prying eyes of the government. So yeah, so probably out here, probably there's survivalists that probably like live out here. People that like live off the grid. So we see an activity, some kind of dirt bike riding. But about the dirt bike riding, we can see that they're actually getting dirty when they're actually driving around. So there's actually mud. The characters are going to get dirty. Nice attention to detail. This place is probably abandoned. Judging by, look at the amount of graffiti that this place has. This place is most likely abandoned. This looks like a grain elevator to me. It's probably some kind of grain factory. And we see, is that a raccoon? Possibly raccoon on the left side here. We got a pair of hunters, so hunting is coming back as an activity in GTA 6. And you can also tell northern Florida because of the trees too. Or northern Leonida, I should stop calling it Florida, but I can't help myself. Yeah, so very different terrain than like southern Leonida, southern Florida. So world is going to be so detailed. And right here, is this a cougar? This looks like a cougar right here. But we see a bunch of bikers. A lot of bikers here. Truck carrying something. Birds. Big wildlife. A lot of wildlife in the game. And we also see a cougar moving up on a bunch of deer. So animals can kill other animals too. Kayaking. That's probably, I guarantee you this is going to be an activity. There is going to be kayaking as an activity is going to be in the game. And it's probably going to be required for 100%, but I'm always fine with it. Always with more activities. Train also here. Hopefully, please, Rockstar, let us actually drive the trains. Please, please, please let us drive the trains. I always love driving the trains in San Andreas. Coming May 26, 2026. Okay. Okay, so here, now we're gonna do a little bit more breakdown, but now the trailer itself, now that we've broken down all the info, and we're gonna combine this info from the trailer, with the screenshot info that we got. But also, I'm gonna play this on mute, because when I played this with the music on the other one, it got copyright claims, so we're just, breaking it down, not really listening to the music and the audio. This first part, I don't think... Yeah. This first part, I don't think there's any, music, so I can just play this scene, but... So this is important. This is Jason's, where Jason and Lucia are probably living at the beginning of the game. This is not going to be a, probably the forever property. There's probably going to be other properties they're going to get. So this is Brian, Brian again here, Jason's boss and landlord. So, about this is, Brian owns multiple rental properties. So he says, I've got properties of other paying tenants, but he's a drug runner at the same time, too. The rental properties are basically a way for him to hide his income. So he probably owns multiple of these properties, and it's basically a way for him to launder and clean his dirty money. So his illegal money that he gets from the drugs, it's a way for him to hide. He also runs the boating business. So this is a way for him to make more money, but at the same time also hide his business. And Jason is aware of this. He works for him. He moves drugs for him. This is definitely a cutscene. This is probably the very beginning of the game. We see some kind of tattoo here that Jason has, a some kind of skull tattoo. But he's holding somebody up, possibly collecting protection money. See a few of the Ambrosia, that one district they were talking about, downtown Peacock, Southside Peacock Avenue, and I gotta tell you, the signs look extremely realistic for like an American highway. Very real. They look identical to like how an American highway sign would look. And also, about this guy, I know this might be a little hard to see, this worker over here on the highway, but make sure to remember him because that's going to be a little important. But also, we see people riding in the back of the truck. I'm curious whether this is a cutscene or this is actually something that can happen. Can you actually ride in the back of trucks now? Planes. We're going to see big planes in this game too. Is this Jason working out? That is my question. Probably Jason working out, but again, I'm really hoping they bring back the gym activities. This is not just a cutscene. I really hope they bring it back. Because in GTA 5, you could see people working out at the gym, but you can't actually work out yourself, which sucks. Again, this is probably a cutscene. I don't think that it's going to be like you just, pick up a pack of beer and walk out. I could be wrong, but I think this is probably a cutscene. That's what I think it probably is. Somebody arrested. A cutscene. This is definitely a cutscene too. See a bunch of cops, cars. And Jason has his longer hair too, and his glasses, so again, different haircuts you can have in the game. This is the correctional facility where Lucia is. Okay, he's picking up Lucia. Now this is pretty important because this is gonna break the stupid clickbait nonsense. The when the corrections officer says, "Have I seen you here before?" You might have. I don't know if that's an indication that Jason was possibly in prison, but men's and women's correctional facilities are different. So men are never going to be housed in the same place as women. But this is pretty much getting rid of that stupid clickbait. You guys remember that stupid clickbait where people kept saying, "Oh, this is going to be the end of the game. Lucia is going to be in prison at the end of the game. Jason's going to be dead or whatever." Or people kept saying that the game ends with Lucia being in prison. But now we see that's a load of nonsense. This is the beginning of the game. So I cannot believe people kept spreading around that that clickbait nonsense. So some kind of heist that we got here about the gun that Lucia is holding. This is an MP5, German submachine gun right here. And already the guns look so much better in this game than in GTA 5. In GTA 5, it kind of had like an MP5, but it looked weird. It didn't look like an actual MP5. But like I said, a lot of the guns just look different in GTA 5. But here, we actually see an actual MP5. Yeah, beautiful submachine gun right here. And MP5 is a very expensive, submachine gun, but it is for a lot of gun collectors, the MP5 is a gun that a lot of people want to collect. And we see on this part, this is the exact same robbery. Jason is here with a mask, but we see some kind of attachment, some kind of sight on here. It looks like a red dot ACOG sight that's on here. So this confirms to us that we will be able to customize weapons. Looks like possibly a bank. Probably bank tellers right here. Probably a bank, what this place is. Okay, about this. This is very important here. Extremely important. Brian's Boat Works and Marina. Boat repairs, equipment, and storage. Notice how they're loading something on the plane. Because when I watched this the first time, I noticed it right away. They're loading something specifically on the plane. This caught my attention. Looks like there's boxes. We don't see what's actually in the boxes. I'm telling you that what they're loading in the plane, that's drugs. That is definitely drugs. Like, I'm 99.9% confident. And Brian's Boat Works and Marina. And who is Brian again? Brian is this guy right here. This guy. He is Jason's boss. The boatyard is another way to basically launder the money. And the boatyard is really genius when you think about it. It really is very smart, the boatyard. Because boatyards are going to have boats constantly leaving, and possibly the boatyard could also have a place for seaplanes, so it's going to have constantly boats and seaplanes leaving, so nobody's going to see that as suspicious. If there's a lot of boats that are leaving boatyards and planes leaving, seaplanes leaving the boatyard, nobody's going to think that that's suspicious. So this place is a way for them to hide the dirty money. It's a way for them to hide the drugs. But at the same time, not only is it a front to hide the drugs, it's also a way to actually move the drugs. They actually move the drugs through the boating business itself. And gangs and mafias do this in real life. They use different types of businesses. Sometimes the businesses are just there to hide the money. So like sometimes mafias and gangs will have different businesses just to hide the money. So for tax reasons, when the government asks them to report their taxes, they will show, this is how much money we made from this business, but they're using that to also clean and hide the dirty money. But other fronts are not just a way to hide the dirty money. Other fronts are a way to actually move the illegal stuff around and actually make money through that illegal business. So that's basically it there. And if we go back to him right here, where is he? Right here. So Brian Heder, right here. Nothing better than a mudslide at sunset. Brian's classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys. So this is him, the background, the art. This is his boatyard right here. So again, we see him, I showed these pictures here earlier, but we see Jason driving him. So Jason is pretty familiar with him. We don't know how friendly Jason is with him. It seems like they have somewhat of a friendly relationship when he pulled up. It looks like he was kind of joking and messing around with Jason. This one seems like they do have a friendly relationship. So it looks like they are friends, but I guess we'll only see from the game. But about Cal, remember Cal, Jason's friend that I told you, that I talked about a little bit earlier, about Cal. Where is Cal here? Go back to Cal. This is important here. Okay, Cal right here. He actually works the same boatyard with Jason and Lucia, or Jason, I should say, because we don't really see Lucia working at the boatyard. But let me just skip forward really quickly here to the very end. But at the very end right here, you will see, hang on, Cal. And look, Cal is at the boatyard, and it says Brian's, Boat Works and Marina. So that's Cal right there. So Cal works at the boatyard with Jason. So he knows that it's a drug operation too. They're smuggling drugs through it. So that's basically what the boatyard is. It's a way to smuggle drugs around. And he has, again, Brian has the boatyard and the rental properties as a way to basically hide his money. So it seems to me that GTA 6 is going for the more realism approach. How these these criminals in real life will actually hide their money. They'll pretend to be legitimate businessmen, but in reality they'll hide their money. They'll hide their money through various fronts. Okay, this right here, this is important. This character right here, you see this character right here? This is Lucia. I know it's a little hard to tell, but this is Lucia. Look right here. You see the hat, Brian's Boat Works. But also, look at the haircut. See the haircut right there? That haircut specifically. Now, if we go back to Lucia when Lucia was in prison. Right here, see this? This is Lucia. This is Lucia right here. Yep, that is her. And remember how I said that guy was important? Let me see right here. Go back to this here. So see this highway worker right here. I remember how I said that was important, and then we fast forward here to Lucia picking up trash, wearing glasses, probably wearing the glasses and the hat, probably because she's ashamed. But we see a police officer, probably a corrections officer right here. What this is a prison work program. That's what this is that prisoners will, prisoners will work, they will clean up highways, they will clean up other places, and every state runs these things differently. But prisoners, I believe, do get paid for a lot of this stuff. You see it, the little clipper thing, they're picking up garbage with this, putting it in here. Prisoners do get paid. They get paid very little to almost nothing for this work. I believe that if they work on these projects, that it's reduced on their sentence, so it's time for good behavior and the such. So it does help with their sentence. But also, let me just fast forward a tiny bit here just to get to my point, because I don't want to right here. Take a look at this right here. This scene that I fast forwarded to right here. So Jason is at home, right? We see some kind of, modern gaming console here. It seems to be a reference to PlayStation because of the light there. But you look here, Lucia comes home. It looks like she just came home from work. So she was working. She was probably, as part of her parole, when Lucia was released, she probably had to still do some community service, probably some work. So that's probably part of her parole that she had to do that. And remember the LDC, this scene, and it's the exact same shirt that she was wearing, that highway worker shirt. The reason it's like orange and like that is so that the workers don't get run over because it's bright. That's precisely the reason that they wear stuff like that. But now if we go back to this here, the picture, see LD, and you can't see it, I'm pretty sure that there's a C in there here, LDC. What I think about this, I think this stands for Leonida Department of Corrections. That's what I think this is. Leonida Department of Corrections. So I think that Lucia is working part of some kind of prison program. She's on parole, and probably part of her parole, she has to do some community service. She has to pick up, garbage on the highway. It's a very embarrassing job, probably a job that she's extremely ashamed of. But that's my theory, at least, and I have a lot of evidence for this. I'm pretty sure I'm 99% right on this, that she is working on that prison program as part of her parole. That's at least what I think. Let me skip to where we were here. This Cal again. Cal, Lucia, and Jason, they're at a bar. Some kind of nightclub. Looks like Jason gets into a fight with somebody here. And this guy right here, is that... It does look like him. Gonna confirm it again here. It looks like Dre'Quan. It looks like him right here. Is that him? It looks similar to him. I think that is Dre'Quan with Jason. I don't know who this guy is though. So some kind of police escape. They're running away. Brian is right here. This is Brian's wife. Yeah, we've seen her already 2 scenes. I'm pretty certain that that's Brian's wife. And from the scenes that we've seen, it seems like Brian and Jason are friends. Like Jason works for him, but it seems like they like each other. So that scene at the beginning, it kind of seems like Brian was kind of like joking because somebody like Brian probably has like over $100 million. The amount of if this guy has been smuggling drugs since the 80s. Like literally since the 80s, and he's never been caught. He's never been arrested. The police have never seized his money. He probably has like, over 100 million by that time. Just if he was smuggling drugs back then, yeah. So when he was like saying, I have tenants who pay, he was probably like messing around with Jason. So it does seem like they are friends. They are in a good relationship. This is the police right here. Some of the cops that we see. What I'm really curious about is, how is this cutscene playing? Because we never really see cutscenes from the police perspective in GTA games. We see, we saw like the corrupt cops, but they're interacting with us. This guy seems to be some kind of top-level cop, and we did not see, there was no, in all the info that Rockstar provided to us, they did not tell us who this guy is. He's talking to somebody here. I don't think that this is Jason. I don't think this is him. This guy seems a little too thin to me to be Jason, because Jason seems to be a big buff guy. I don't think that this is Jason. So like there are people already who are speculating, and they're saying, this is proof that Jason is an undercover cop. That we have like a scene of the cops talking. Just because we have a scene of the cops talking does not mean that Jason is an undercover cop. I don't think that Jason is an undercover cop. I think if Jason is an undercover cop, I think that story would be kind of stupid if it was. So that's my opinion. But I don't think that Jason is an undercover cop. But I'm really curious how this cutscene came about. Like, it's possible that maybe they had like a recording device in like the police station or something like that, or wherever the police are here, and they just the gangsters are recording them. That's also a possibility, and we see it like from their perspective. Curious whether Jason's pushing somebody. Curious whether this is like I don't think this is a cutscene. I think this is an actual move, because you know how like in Red Dead Redemption you could actually like smash people against the wall. Like if you grab people really close, you could actually push them against the wall. I think that that's something similar here. And we see Lucia is in some kind of this looks possibly like some kind of fight club. Yeah, this very much looks to me like a fight club here. The earlier part was a gym, but yeah, this very much seems to me like it's some kind of fight club. But I really did enjoy the fight club in the Ballad of Gay Tony, so I'm happy with this. Some kind of heist. This is this weapon right here. We got another weapon. This is the automatic grenade launcher. It's actually, I'm pretty certain this is the same grenade launcher that is from that's from GTA Online. It's a real-life grenade launcher. I would have to look it up. Let me look up what it's called. It is a Milker AV-140 grenade launcher. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It is a grenade launcher that has this round drum attached to it. I don't know much about it. I know that it's in GTA 5. I'm pretty sure it's in Modern Warfare 2 as well. I think it's the RGL in Modern Warfare 2. But anyways, let's continue on here. We do see they're blowing up cops, and same type of, police, new SWAT van that's in GTA 5. But it looks like this is probably some kind of escape, and Lucia's shooting. And here we got, oh yeah, that's him. That's Dre'Quan, yep, Dre'Quan, and he's wearing the exact same clothes here. So yeah, this is Dre'Quan. So it looks like Dre'Quan and Jason are friends. This probably shocked me the most in the entire trailer, was probably this. What on earth is going on over here? I can just see this is a plane. This is definitely a plane. You can see the landing gear right here. I'm struggling a little bit to figure out who is who exactly here. There's two women fighting. One of them is definitely Lucia. I think Lucia's probably the one that's on top because the other one seems to be wearing some kind of green vest here. That's probably as like a plain cargo worker. But yeah, this very, very hard to tell just based on this scene. But they're fighting on, you know, they're over downtown Vice City. You can tell this. They're definitely over downtown. It's some kind of plane. If anybody knows in the comments what kind of plane this could possibly be, let me know in the comments. But I have no idea. I don't really know much about planes. The only thing I know is it's a plane 100%. But I don't know anything else, really. Now, this, what on earth are they carrying here? This looks like a dumpster? Possibly a vault of some kind. Yeah, it's... Slow this down completely here. Oh yeah, it looks to me like a vault. You see the handles on the vault right there. Yeah, this is a vault. I thought it was a dumpster at first. This is a vault. That's what this is. This is a vault they're carrying. This is definitely inspired by Fast and Furious 5 because in Fast and Furious 5 they actually stole a larger vault, which is two muscle cars. But yeah, this is definitely based on Fast and Furious 5. Rockstar again gets their inspiration from a lot of crime movies. Jason Lucia, and I don't know who this guy is. It's some kind of club. Okay, so this is important here. Uh, and these controllers do seem to me like they're based on the PlayStation. Like this is so similar to the PlayStation 5. It's like a different console, but yeah, this is I would say it's definitely inspired by the PlayStation 5. About this, Phil's ammunition. This is Phil Cassidy, but I'm telling you right now, there are so many people that are going to clickbait about this, and I'm going to make a separate video about this. It's not going to be a long video, maybe like 5 minutes, but talking about Phil Cassidy and GTA 6 a little bit later this week. But basically, the clickbaiters are going to go crazy with this, and they're going to say, how does Phil have another arm? How does he have another arm? I'll tell you how Phil has another arm. You know how he has another arm? It's because the Phil Cassidy that you see right here is not the exact same Phil Cassidy that's in GTA Vice City and Vice City Stories and GTA 3 and all the other stuff. You have to remember that Phil Cassidy in GTA 3 is the last time chronologically you saw him. He was an older guy and he was bald. So there is no way that this is Phil, that same Phil Cassidy. He would be a lot older. And you know, how old was Phil in Vice City? In Vice City, he was like 30s, possibly early 40s. That's how old he was in the early in Vice City and Vice City Stories. So this is a reboot of Phil Cassidy. It is Phil Cassidy, but it's not the same Phil Cassidy that you see in Vice City Stories, GTA 3, GTA Liberty City Stories. This guy is a reboot. And Phil Cassidy has been in every single 3D GTA except San Andreas. San Andreas is the only one that he hasn't been in. But yeah, big gun guy, and I don't think that Phil has ever served in the military. He talks about how he served in the military, but in reality, I don't think he's actually ever served in the military. And he lost his arm in a stupid accident. He was showing Tommy some explosives with boomshine, and he lost his arm. So this is why this Phil Cassidy has his arms. It's because he's a reboot. It is not the exact same Phil Cassidy that you see in the older GTA games. Think of Captain Price in, the original Modern Warfare games and the new Modern Warfare games. It's Captain Price. It's the same character, but it's not the exact same person. It's just a reboot of Captain Price. So this is a reboot of the original Phil Cassidy. It's the HD version of Phil Cassidy. Yeah, that store is going to be definitely exciting to go to. So here we see an attack helicopter, and we see a gunner also on the side. Somebody is manning the gun. So this is the Buzzard from GTA 5, but we see weapons, and now we got gunners. And it looks to me like Jason is the pilot in this. I think Jason is the pilot. And judging by the fact that we see the controls, we see this thing. I don't know what this is called, but in aircraft, what that basically is to basically show if the aircraft is leveled out. So if this is like completely leveled out, it's to show that the plane or the helicopter is flying at level. But if it's like tilted to the side, it's to show you what angle the aircraft is basically flying at. So I think that there's going to be a first-person mode. I do think there is going to be a first-person mode with this game. And yeah, so Jason was chasing somebody there. Jason's on a motorcycle, dodo plane. Lucia's jumping in here probably to steal that supercar. And again, you see Cal here. He's at Brian's Boatworks. So again, Cal is probably not an idiot. Either he works for the drug business itself, or he knows at least what's going on there. City looks beautiful. That is pretty much it, guys. I know this video has been kind of long, and it's been like, close to an hour. I know that, but I wanted to break down as much information as I could for you guys. I hope you guys didn't get bored from me talking. I wasn't trying to stretch the video out. I was just trying to break down everything and talk about everything as much as I could. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do drop a like. Let me know what you think down below. And again, if you did enjoy the video, do drop a like and do subscribe to me. It does help me out so much. And I will definitely have videos on GTA 6 when that comes out. If you're new to my channel, I do I do GTA streams on Sundays and GTA Online streams. I do GTA lore content also, but I play a lot of different games also. But I'll have that video on Phil Cassidy this week. So thank you guys for watching. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, and see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.